All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. I think it's episode 7, episode 6. I don't know what episode we're on. I'm sorry for not sticking to schedule. I have been really kind of trying to balance streaming and also, just taking time for myself and playing with friends and all that. So it's been a bit like all over the place in terms of like, when do I want to start the podcast? Do I want to do it now? Blah blah. Because the streams have been going great lately. It's weird. I think I might have talked about this last episode, but the Civ streams have been doing incredible. They've been doing really well. Every time I've streamed Civ, they've done amazing. And even after I'm live, the VODs get hundreds of views. And that's honestly not easy to do nowadays in the current YouTube space. Like, unless you really have a banger, perfectly tagged, perfect thumbnail, perfect title video, it was really difficult to get anything over like 50 to 60, even for me. But the Civ streams have been doing amazing, and the visibility's been great. But I streamed Sunhaven today, which is a smaller game, so I figured maybe not as many people would watch, but it was remarkably lower viewership. Not nothing, it wasn't like a waste of time or anything. But it was remarkably lower viewership, and that makes me a bit worried because I don't want to get stuck playing a game that like Civ can only work for you for so long before you start getting tired of it. Just like any game. Like, I always had crazy respect for those people who did Fortnite because they're still doing Fortnite and they're not like, I can't, I don't know anybody. So like maybe they are, but I feel like it would appear that they're continuing their success and that they are not unhappy doing it, which is insane to me. Like, I cannot imagine waking up every day, getting on Fortnite and trying to have some crazy thing happen or like some map idea. Like, I can't relate to that because I don't think I've had a game that I've been able to play every day for like 2 to 3 years. It's just not my thing, right? Like, I like variety. I always told people, in the earlier days of Twitch, people would ask you like, oh, what do you stream? And I would always kind of have trouble saying what I streamed because I like to stream or play a bunch of things, Like, I'm very much the variety streamer. I happen to do a lot of video games, but it's at least like a large variety of video games, right? Which sucks because earlier on in YouTube, I think it was more beneficial to do that, to spread your scope, whereas now it's just like everything else, like the more specialized you become, the more it's going to pay off, right? Like, I think we're seeing that a lot in like education and jobs, right? Is like, if you can find a super niche specialty thing, you're going to succeed because there aren't a lot of other people doing it. And I think that happened to YouTube, where there was so much saturation that people had to kind of go, okay, I'm going to make Minecraft modded map videos, or I'm gonna make Sim City mod videos, and like all of these people kind of poked out of them doing something super unique and specific and just sticking to that. Whereas what I did, and what I think a lot of other people did when they were making YouTube in that time, because I kind of consider myself a part of the early 2010s, even late, like early 2010s, even slightly pre-2010 YouTube, where like it wasn't a huge competition. Like, it was not, obviously there were these megaliths, whatever they are, like big YouTubers who kind of always had a spotlight on them, but you weren't exactly directly competing with them, right? Like, there was enough to go around, I guess is the way that I'm trying to say. But now it's like, and even maybe 5 years ago, I feel like it started about 5-6 years ago, there's so many people all doing the same thing that you have to find some little pocket of content. And I think I kind of kneecapped myself in that regard, where I didn't really choose a specific thing because I thought, look, this is something I enjoy. It's not super lucrative for me. It's not my life. It's not my job. It's something I just like to do, and I'd like to share that with other people who like to do the same thing, or like to play the same games, or want to kill an hour of their day, or, they're depressed and they want to just watch something different, or like, that's where I want my content to fit. So I didn't want to do the whole like, and that's what makes me worried about Civ, is like, I don't want to get stuck in this little spot where it's like, now I have to upload Civ every day because it's the only way I'm going to gain viewership. But if you're not, like if we're being dead honest, like obviously my personality is not gravitational enough to pull enough people in to watch everything I do, right? And I'm not even going to blame my personality, because it could be just that, they like Civ. They haven't been watching me for a long time. They don't really know me. Like I've asked a bunch of people, like, how often do you come across new YouTubers that are small that you watch? And 90% of the people are going to say, I don't. 90% of the people are going to say, I watch XYZ streamer, and they happen to be the biggest streamer in the world. And you're like, oh, well, yeah. Like not a lot of people. And I think this kind of applies maybe for everything except for like movies, where like if you're kind of a small fish nowadays, best of luck, because you have to look at your own habits too. Like very rarely do I find a YouTuber with under 100,000 subs that I watch consistently, And there's a reason for that. It's not even that I don't want to watch them. It's that like I don't even get recommended videos from people who have under 100k subs, So like I'm also very well aware that my following is so small that I honestly, I just have to be happy with what I get. And if I'm growing, I'm growing. If I'm not, I'm not. But again, it kind of comes back to like, I don't want to pigeonhole myself into this like, oh, I'm a Civ YouTuber, because then I'm stuck to Civ forever. And then I have to make another channel that's about something else and hope that people come there. And like the Rebel channel has always been just like, whatever I want to do, I'll just throw it to the wall and we'll see if it sticks. And if it doesn't stick, whatever, it's still there. Like I made, little artistic films that I wanted to do because I've always wanted to make a movie, and I thought like, damn, well, I have an iPhone and I think I have something to say, so fuck it, let's do it. And those videos do well or they don't do well, but I at least have it there. But now you can't really do that. Like I can't, realistically, if I want to grow as a YouTuber, I have to stick to a certain content, make that content, and not deviate. Right? Like deviating is like a death wish now. If you can successfully like divert attention to another thing, you've made it as a content creator, right? Because, like there's people who've done vlogs and then they do gaming and then they do gaming and then they do vlogs and they do vlogs and they do podcasts and they go all over the place. But if you can't do that successfully, it's over, because the content that people know you for and the place that you've carved out for yourself is now gone, right? And that's a really difficult thing. Like, it's so hard because you either choose, like, do I want numbers or do I want, I guess, like, enjoyment? Because I gotta be dead honest, if I stream Civ every day for the next month, I'm not gonna feel that excited about getting on and playing or streaming. Like, my content is going to get stale because I'm just force feeding Civ into people and myself because it happens to be the best viewership, right? And like arguably, some people can do that for a long time and then they can switch and then they have the freedom, right? It's kind of like working a job that like, okay, but this can lead to, or let's say education, it's like, okay, I'm in college, but it's going to lead to a good job, right? And if you look at it that way, I guess it makes sense. But it's like, fuck, man, like we all have so little time already, that if you're going to use your time doing something you don't like on top of something you already don't like, most of us don't like college. Most of us don't like work. So if you're going to take time out of your day to do something else other than something that you have to do, and it's something you happen to not like, then what's the place? Where's the place for it? Like, I do this podcast because I like to do it. I don't have to do it. I don't have any sponsors. I don't have any obligations. I just like to fucking yap and talk about random shit. So, but if I didn't like it, I wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Anyway, I feel like that I got really like aggressive there for some reason. I just have a lot of energy right now. But I don't know. But yeah, I streamed Sunhaven today and it was a good time. Like, it was a nice 3-hour stream, and I don't think I got the amount of viewership that I was hoping for, but I at least am not like sitting there playing Civ like, oh my god, I've played 25 hours of Civ the past 4 days. I'm just fucking dead. You know what I mean? Like, it could be so much worse if I just stream Civ, but anyway, that tangent's over with. I was looking at some YouTube videos. I was making food, and I was looking at some YouTube videos and there was this Linus Tech Tips interview, which I don't know if anybody listening to this knows who that is. He's basically a massive tech YouTuber that kind of came up during the MKBHD and, you know, like reviews products, but also has fun creative videos and stuff. And it was funny because he was kind of saying the same thing, that like, you know, older YouTube, you could upload a video a day, and there was this, you know, the reason that people started uploading daily was because videos could grow perceivably like forever, right? Like prior to saturation and competition, you could upload daily, and what he was saying was like, if he could upload daily and those videos would continue to get 100 views a day for the rest of, like, you know, for the rest of time, essentially, then his channel would grow exponentially, right? Because you're compounding growth, you have consistent growth, you would essentially just keep growing. But that was before the saturation and the competition. And like now he was saying when he makes content, it has to be like just reaching the audience he wants to reach, and that's the video and it's done. Because videos don't really, it doesn't happen anymore, right? Like not a lot of people go back on videos a month ago and watch all the way up until now, unless it's some sort of like, it has to be sequential, right? Like a episodic thing, or maybe vlogs too. Like I feel like maybe some people, I think vlog channels kind of have that benefit where if they're doing like daily vlogs or something like that, you kind of want to go back and see how they got to where they are now, or, you know, whatever. I think that's a thing because it's sequential, right? It's every day. So you can go back 5 days and see what happened throughout their week up until now, and that works. But now it just doesn't really work like that. Like you're not going to keep gaining views on videos that are 2 weeks old. It doesn't happen. Like I have 300 and I think 60 something videos, right? That's a whole year's worth of content, essentially, right? Like every day you could watch a new video. I probably get views, consistent views. I probably get 3 or 4 videos that consistently give me like 5 to 10 views a day. Maybe if I'm lucky, 50 to 60. But really it's mostly like recently it's been the Civ streams, right? So it kind of trickles down, right? Like the last Civ stream I got has the highest amount of views, and then it keeps going down. And then by the end of next week, I'll probably be getting no views on those streams, right? And that's just the way it is now. But it's so hard to like, you just got to keep working, keep pumping it out, you know, which I'm happy to do. I have a break and I have the time, and I'm happy to do it. And honestly, the live streaming is way easier than doing YouTube videos, because you just press stream, you know, like there's very little behind what I have to do, right? Like I have to kind of have a game and have a plan, right? Like, okay, what do I want to stream? How long do I want to stream it? What do I want to achieve? I have to make a thumbnail, a title, and tags on the description, but that's it, right? I'd have to do that if I was doing a video anyway. The only difference is I don't have to edit for 2 hours. I don't have to record 4 hours and cut it down into 20 minutes and do thumbnails and titles for each one. Like if I did videos, because basically what I used to do, and I know a lot of other people did, was they would record for 2 hours, 3 hours, right? And then they cut that down into 10 to 15 minute videos. But you have to do thumbnails and titles and tags for each one of those videos and schedule them and make sure you have the space. And okay, what am I going to have for this thumbnail? Oh, okay, what happened in this 10 minutes? Because I don't remember because I recorded it last week, right? Like that is so much more difficult than just fucking clicking go live, you know? So I don't have a problem. I'm not complaining by any means, but it's frustrating when you don't want to get pigeonholed into a certain content thing, right? And like, I'm going to stream Civ again, but because I want to, right? Not because I'm like, I need to get the views today. And like, it's like the video's not going to be successful if I don't do it. I'm not doing it because of that. I'm doing it because I want to. And that's kind of why I didn't stream Civ today. Because I was like, you know what? I'll just play a different game. I'll at least get a stream out, give myself a fighting chance, try the game out, see what happens. If it's lucrative, it's lucrative. If it's not, at least I streamed, right? Like, at least I gave it a try. Because I think I'd be upset if I just like didn't stream it. Because I have a history with that, where I'll be playing a game and I'm like, oh, this isn't really like a stream game. Like, this isn't really something I would stream. But I'm realizing more and more now that I just need to go live. I just need to go live, press the button, shut the fuck up, play the game. You know, just have fun. Like today I streamed with my friends, and I haven't done that in a long time. And I think it was really fun. And I hope that, You know, it is weird when you're going live because people kind of watch what they say. You know, like, I can kind of tell that some people are held back a bit by streams. Maybe not my group as much, just because I've been a content creator for so long, they're kind of used to it by now. But you can tell, you know, in certain groups where you're like, oh man, they're really like, not nervous. There is a thing that comes with streaming and recording where you do kind of like become hyper aware of your tendencies or the way you talk or what you say. You know, you become a lot more like, I don't know. Like, some people are just built for it. Like, even I would say I'm not really built for it. Like, I've gotten okay at it over time, but it's not something I was naturally good at. But some people are just, like, naturally good at it, right? Like, they say funny stuff and they laugh and whatever. But some people are, like, kind of nervous about being on stream or on a video. So I hope that wasn't, like, you know, weird for them and allowed them to kind of relax and just not think about it. But anyway, I've hit my 15-minute mark. I kind of just yapped about streaming for a long time. Have a lot of energy, so I apologize if I was kind of rapid fire this podcast. But yeah, I'm going to call it there. Again, thanks for all the support on the videos and the streams and the podcast. They've been all doing really well. I'm really happy with how this has been going. I can't say... I might get emotional. I can't say how much it means to me because I really been doing this a long time, and you know, there's ups and downs and you have good months and bad months, but I really didn't do anything for a long time. You know, I didn't upload for like a year and I just kind of disappeared. So it's been nice to come back, and I know that I can at least semi-successfully do it, you know? But anyway, I'm going to end it there. I hope everyone had a great Christmas. I hope you guys have a good holiday. Be safe on New Year's. Don't drink and drive, you know, all that stuff. Just have a good time. And thank you for listening. Goodbye.